If you are trying to lose weight, you are probably no stranger to the feeling of hunger. After all, you need to be in a calorie deficit, otherwise you won't be able to lose weight. But what if I told you that you can lose weight without feeling hungry all the time? Yes, that's possible. To achieve this, you need to start taking advantage of these almost zero-calorie snacks. And yeah, there are alternatives to rice and pasta that have basically 0 calories and taste almost like the real thing, but we will get to that later. Now let's start with the first brilliant super low calorie snack that you should take advantage of when you start getting really hungry. And this is my personal favorite that I utilize every day. And I can tell you that I haven't been hungry since. The snack in question is salad. Hey, I saw that you rolled your eyes to the back of your brain when I said salad, but wait a second. Utilizing salads is not only just a low-calorie snack, but it's a habit that you should adapt. I can tell you what I do personally every day. In the morning, I prepare a really big bowl of salad and utilize it throughout the day with my meals. So for example, if I have scrambled eggs for breakfast, I eat a little bit of salad with it, then do the same with lunch and so on. I don't concern myself with the amount of salad I eat with each meal. I simply eat until I'm full, and then I stop. And because it's just a low-calorie salad, I can eat as much of it as I want. So when I eat my meals, I never have the feeling of hunger afterwards. I'm always satiated. This is an insane game changer that I just can't recommend enough. And you know, the salads don't have to be boring. If you don't like eating those regular leafy greens like kale or lettuce, then you don't have to. The fact that it's called salad doesn't mean you have to use kale or lettuce. You can make a salad from whatever you like. My favorite combination is cucumbers and cherry tomatoes with a little salt and pepper. Of course, I don't put oil into it, because then that kind of defeats the purpose of it. You can put a little bit of oil into it if you feel like it will really elevate the experience, but you should measure it precisely and know exactly how many calories that adds to your total. Because it could get out of hand really quickly, because oil is very calorie dense. Keep in mind that 1 tablespoon of oil is 120 calories, so don't go crazy, okay? Now let's move on to the snack that a lot of you will enjoy, and that snack is jelly. You can make so much of it and it will be still basically 0 calories. Of course, only if you go with sugar-free jelly, otherwise this is not going to work. It's a great replacement when you are craving some kind of dessert, so I would highly recommend it. What I also highly recommend is that you put some fruit into the jelly, which makes it even better. Putting in something like strawberries is just going to take the snack to another level. And if you want to not only take your snacks to the next level, but your whole physique to the next level, you should definitely check out my nutrition plans. No matter if you want to bulk up, cut down, or just maintain, I got your back. These guides will take your hand and help you walk through the whole meal plan building process in the most simplified way possible, so that you can have a meal plan that will achieve your goals, but is also enjoyable and sustainable. If you would like to take a look, click the first link in the description. Which brings us to our next snack, which is watermelon. As with jelly, watermelon is mostly water. After all, it's called watermelon. So it's a great option when you need to snack on something sweet and feel satiated after. As we get to more and more of these super low calorie snacks, you will start to realize that water plays a big role in most of them, which is also the case for our next food, which is highly satiating, even though it's basically just water. I'm of course talking about soups and broths. This is definitely one of the most underrated dieting foods, because it really gives the illusion that it will not be filling at all, but this couldn't be further from the truth. So you have a couple of options here. Option 1, clear broths, so for example chicken or beef broths. Very tasty and very filling. Second option, vegetable soups, where you can put in some vegetables you like and here you go, you got a very filling snack. And if you want to take the soups and broths to another level, you can put in some kind of protein source to make it into a quote-unquote normal meal that can become a part of your daily diet. For example, by adding chicken, tofu, or whatever else floats your boat. If you have never tried making a soup or a broth, you really need to give it a shot. Trust me, it will be well worth it. Alright, now let's finally get to what you have been probably waiting for this whole time. The replacement for noodles or rice that is basically 0 calories. Which sounds like it's the best thing ever, as regular uncooked pasta or rice have roughly 350 calories per 100 grams, while this replacement is basically 0 calories. You might have already heard about this. It's called konjac or sometimes shirataki noodles / rice. But before we get any further with this, I have to warn you. Konjac products can be really dangerous, so if you are going to try it out, do it at your own risk and never consume too much of it. Otherwise, you will most likely not have a good time. You know, I'm not the type of guy to read you a study or anything like that, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you consume too much of some konjac product, you should make sure that you have a toilet in your near proximity, because the konjac products are basically all fiber. And don't ask me how I found out. So if you are going to try it out, start with a small portion. Do not eat the whole package in one sitting. In small portions, it should be rather safe, but you know how it is. Everyone's body reacts differently, so doing a little bit of research before diving into it is definitely a good idea. If you decide to try it out, you need to know that once you open the package, you are going to be met with not a very nice smell. So I highly recommend you properly rinse it out, because it really smells pretty bad. And if you want to get rid of it, you will need to rinse it out multiple times. What I think is the best use case for the konjac products is to utilize them to kind of bulk up your regular meals. So if you are making regular pasta, you can try mixing in some konjac noodles to increase the volume of the meal. Maybe something like 70% regular pasta and 30% konjac noodles. And you can do the same exact thing with konjac rice. This will also make it taste a lot better, because these konjac products have a gel-like texture which might not be everyone's cup of tea. But what I think is a much better alternative to the konjac products if you want to bulk up your meals is zucchini. You can take the zucchini, grate it into noodle shapes, and then you can easily mix it in your spaghetti, for example. This can easily double the volume of your food. And if you think it's going to taste nasty, no, don't worry. If you mix it in with some sauce or something, it will actually be pretty good. Now let me share with you one of my favorite snacks, which you might find really weird, but it's so good. Especially if you are really deep in your diet, because at that point literally everything starts to look appetizing. Take a cucumber, chop it up into small chips, and then put some soy sauce or pink salt on top of it, and you have an awesome snack. I already see some of you with your pitchforks saying, "That's too much salt, you can't do that." I mean, sure, but a little bit of salt or soy sauce has never killed anybody. Plus, if you are an active individual, which you should be if you are watching this channel, then some extra sodium will not go in vain. After all, salt is basically the most important electrolyte, and you need electrolytes through any type of physical activity, because getting a cramp while you are rocking, running, or doing whatever else is really not a fun thing. You know how it is, everything in moderation. Extremes always result in problems. So yeah, if you eat this snack 10 times every day, then you will have a problem. But this could be said about basically anything. So using common sense is always the best way to go. Now it's time for some honorable mentions that I wouldn't really classify as snacks, but they are still amazing tools which can help you eliminate hunger. First of all, zero sugar sodas or any sugar-free drinks are such a lifesaver when you have a sweet tooth. These beverages can also be with caffeine, as caffeine is an appetite suppressant, which can be extremely helpful on the diet. But you know how it is with caffeine, it takes a long time before it gets out of your system, so only consume it in the first third of the day, otherwise you will ruin your sleep. And that will definitely not help you on your weight loss journey. The other honorable mention is sugar-free gum, which yeah, it sounds kind of ridiculous, but if you are hit with a wave of cravings, just chewing a gum and giving your mouth something to do can be the difference between sticking with your diet and achieving results and going on a binge-eating rampage and ruining all of your progress. And that's it. I hope that you will take at least one snack idea from this video and implement it into your own diet, so that you don't have to battle with constant hunger anymore. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Hey, you made it to the end. Click here to learn some more.